Welcome to your social science class. Today, we'll be reading chapter 3 of civics. Why do we need a parliament? Now, as we all know, that parliament is a legislative body which takes decisions. And being a democracy, our duty is also to take part in the decision making. Now, India is such a huge country, and all the people cannot participate in this process. And as a result, we participate in the decision-making process through our representatives. These representatives, they sit in the parliament. Now the question arises, why the people were given a chance to take part in the decision-making process? It was during the British rule that our nationalists, our leaders, they realized that even the citizens should have a right to take part in the decision making, as that decision will be applicable on the citizens. Therefore, in the Government of India Act in 1909, it allowed for some elected representative. Only some people were given the right to vote, or rather, right to represent. Here, our nationalist leaders, they decided that this right to vote or to take part in the decision making should not be confined to some people. Rather, it should be given to all the citizens. As the experience of the colonial rule, we were left with less doubts that all the citizens will participate in the decision making process. And for this, all the adults were given the right to vote, and it was known as Universal Adult Franchise. The Universal Adult Franchise, we know, in it, all the people, the adult people, the citizens of the country are given the right to vote. And hence, through these voting, through these elections, the representatives are elected. These elected representatives, they then sit in the parliament, makes the decision which are applicable upon us. Now, we'll see that in democracy, because all are given importance, therefore, the decision of people that creates a democratic government and decides about its functioning is the basis of any democratic country, because all the governments, democratic governments, they function according to the will of the people. As rightly said, democracy is of the people, for the people, and by the people. Now, here in India, the parliament is made up of the representatives together which control and guide the government. They keep an eye on the work of the government, they control the working of the government, and even they guide the government as what should be done. Now, these people, the parliamentarians, they all are known as the MPs. That means the member of parliament. You can see here, this is a parliament in Delhi, and there are two houses in it. One is the Lok Sabha, the other is the Rajya Sabha. We give votes, and then these two bodies are formed. We'll see what are these two bodies about. As you can see here, that there is a huge difference between the two houses of our parliament, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha members are directly elected by the voters, whereas The members of Rajya Sabha are elected by the elected members of State Legislative Assembly. That means we do not elect them directly. The period of Lok Sabha is of 5 years, of Rajya Sabha is of 6 years, but then one third of its members retire after every 2 years. The maximum strength of Lok Sabha is 552. Of Rajya Sabha should not be more than 250. The money bills can only originate in Lok Sabha, and Rajya Sabha can keep it for 14 days. The bill doesn't originate in Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha is the House of People. Rajya Sabha is the Council of States. Lok Sabha is a permanent temporary house. Rajya Sabha is a permanent house. So you see, Lok Sabha is more powerful than the Rajya Sabha. The Parliament, as already discussed, has two houses. Now, what do these people do? They make the decisions, they take decisions, and these decisions are applied on us after the sign of the president. The whole country is divided into numerous constituencies, and these constituencies can elect only one person. Therefore, the candidates who contest elections usually belong to different political parties. The party which has the majority forms the government. The party which is in minority forms the opposition. Now, their work first is to select the national government. The party which has the majority forms the government. The PM and his ministers takes oath. If any party doesn't get the majority, then various parties can join hands and can form the government which is known as a coalition government. The members who are not from the ruling parties, they all sit in the opposition. And their work is to keep an eye on the work of the government. Second function is to control, guide, and inform the government. They control the government, what the rules and laws are being passed, they guide what should be done, and they inform what the people want. And as a result, based upon this information, the parliament works. Both the houses, in their sittings, in their sessions, they sit and discuss various things. The third function which they have is of the lawmaking process. Now, as you can see here, the lawmaking process in India. First is the introduction of the bill. It is published in Gazette. Gazette is a newspaper. Then it first reading takes place here in the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. All the things are read out. What is to be done? What they think? What will they do? Then they select a certain committee that these people will look into the matter. Then these people plus or minus certain ideas into that particular bill. Again, it is put on the desk for the second reading. Then again, it is put on the desk for the third reading, where clause by clause everything is discussed. After passing from the first house, it is presented in the second house, again where all these stages are cleared. And after that, it goes to the president's assent. After his sign, it becomes a law, which we are supposed to follow. Now, who are the people in parliament? People in parliament are from various backgrounds, diverse backgrounds, because it involves all the groups and all the people. Now, the interest and experience of all the people are counted in the elections. Even the marginalized group, the women, the backward classes, all are given a chance to participate in the elections and be a part of the great Indian democracy. And as a result, today even the women is a part of this government. It is issues of this kind that forces the country to ask certain difficult questions and resolve questions about whether a democratic system is representative enough. Yes, it is a representative enough because it is representing all the sections of the society, and therefore it is a duty to help the parliament in smooth functioning, help the government in informing it and guiding it. And as a responsible citizen, we should do it. I hope the chapter is clear to you. Good day and have a nice day.